In the past 3 days, I generated $27,340 revenue, $16,215 cash collected, and $6,500 of that cash collected being monthly recurring revenue, all just for one of my clients. And just so you know, I'm not pulling this out my ass. This is the tracking just for the high ticket mentorship alone. We got 21,000 revenue, 10,000 cash collected. Here's some actual payments from a payment processor we use. And then here's proof of the monthly recurring revenue. This is WAP, where we host the low ticket community. $6.7 thousand monthly recurring revenue. We're adding to constantly, but that's what we're sitting at right now. But yeah, if you don't already know who I am or what it is that I do, my name is Jonas Rorwick, and I basically help coaches and consultants scale their business. So if you are a coach, a consultant, or even a growth operator, who's trying to scale their agency, this video is going to be very valuable for you. I'm going to go in detail, from start to finish, how we hyped it up, did story sequences, the landing pages and the funnel that I built out, the systems and automations and the sales process. So tons of sauce in here. I know as a fact, you guys are going to come out if you're learning at least one new thing. So, take out a piece of paper, a pencil, write down some notes, and let's get to it. All right, so just a quick preface before I get into this video and show you all the systems and everything. I had previously launched with this client in the past, and I actually made a YouTube video breaking down everything I did during that first launch. But this is a separate launch. This time we used the waitlist launch. So basically, we started with some hype, made his audience aware of the mentorship, and then we did kind of like a waitlist kind of thing. And then we launched it to the public, which I'm going to explain and, did pretty good. This is a very good way to launch, and I'm going to explain why. So first of all, we didn't have to do market research this time because we did it last time. You only really have to do it once, and then you kind of do like small bits and pieces every now and then. But I already understand his audience. So this time we didn't have to do market research. So, we just skipped right ahead to the hype and awareness stage. Doing this, we did a story sequence. If you don't already know what a story sequence is, it's basically just a couple days of, stories, which makes the audience aware of your mentorship. It'll make them aware. It will handle some objections. It'll get them ready. It'll hype them up a little bit. And then you can even sprinkle some stuff in here like a waitlist form, for example, which is what we did. And that's why our launch was pretty successful for his audience. So I'm just going to get straight into it. The first day, we dropped the first story sequence. So, we kind of just said our date of the day that we're actually launching the mentorship. So it was like January 7th right here. And then we kind of just said tomorrow it begins. So this is day one. This is kind of curiosity. People are like, what are they even doing? Like, what is this? We didn't put any title on this. It was kind of just the date and then tomorrow it begins. So people are beginning to be intrigued. They're like, what's going on here? And it kind of creates a show. Like, they're going to be like, what's going on? Like, I want to tune back in tomorrow, see what's good. So we had this up for about 16 hours until we took it down to post the second day of the story sequence. And this day is all about awareness, hype, social proof. And we also added the waitlist onto here as well. So now we're actually like letting his audience know, okay, this is what we're about to do. We're launching a mentorship. It's not really launched right now, but here's the date, here's what it is. Here's some results we've already produced and everything. And, you can sign up early if you want. First story, we call out our ICP. It's kind of like a hook. So current and aspiring resellers, that's the niche. Then we said for the last month, I closed my inner circle mentorship because I was focused on getting my current students too many results. And now we're just going to spam results. So results. We posted a lot of results that we've already got inside the mentorship from, last launch. And this kind of creates FOMO. People are seeing this, FOMO and social proof. People see this, are like, damn, like this is actually legit. And also, I want to get it on this as well. So people see this and then we say, so since y'all been begging me to join while we were closed down and getting results for my students this month, I've been revamping and adding to the program, the Inner Circle mentorship all month. And damn, let me tell you, me and the team cooked, basically made going from $0 to $10,000 as a reseller done for you. So for the last time before I close it up, let me explain what you get when you join the program. So we're kind of, creating that FOMO again, as in like, okay, before the last time I close it up, oh shit, like people are like, damn, they're going to close it up after this. I have to apply this time, right? And then we also explain, what's inside of it and why it's beneficial. So a benefit, for example, would be like, okay, we're going to have one-on-one coaching and we're going to explain why this is beneficial. So you can talk directly to me and I'll give you detailed answers, right? So 4 or 5 benefits and why they're beneficial, just explaining the program, each kind of aspect of it. And then from there, we're kind of just like, okay, stay tuned. This is the launch date. And then we drop the waitlist. So, if you want early access, DM me early and I'll see if I can squeeze you in early. And we're kind of just like, good luck, spots will fly, just creating that urgency. So obviously from here, people are signing up through the waitlist, which I'll show you later on, what they actually apply through. But for now, I'll move on to day 3. So day 3 is objection handling and then also adding the waitlist on top of it. So what we do on day 3 is basically, okay, Inner Circle mentorship is dropping on the date that we're releasing it in 2 days, 3 days, however long it is. We put a timer here and then we also put a question box. So say, ask me questions about the mentorship, basically. People will drop all their questions. There's going to be like objections inside of here. How much is it? Is this a scam? What's different than last time? All this kind of stuff, right? So we are going to insert these questions at the top, and then we're going to answer them to the best of our ability to kind of educate the audience for number 1, and then also object or handle their objections. So there was probably like 5-6 questions we answered, really just digging deep. These were like the best questions we could find that could explain to the audience what this was and handle their objections. And then from there, obviously we drop the waitlist. So if you want to squeeze in early, basically DM me early and I'll see if I can get you a spot. And then also one more thing we implemented this time was a close friend story. Unfortunately, we kind of like didn't get all the people onto it because the guy we got it from was, lacking. But we had about, half or a little bit over half of his followers on this close friend story, which helped with engagement. So basically, all of these stories are just regular. And then the last one is close friends. So everyone on the close friends will see all these stories before, and then they see this close friend story as well. And we kind of just said on this story, like, okay, you guys are OGs, that's kind of why you're on my close friend story. I'm giving you guys the opportunity to sign up early on the waitlist and boost your spot to the top of the waitlist above everyone else who isn't on this close friend story, basically. And this actually worked. People were on the call with me saying like, dude, like I'm an OG, so of course, a ton more waitlist applications. At this point, my dialers are still dialing people and they're booking calls already, even though we haven't like publicly launched, but we technically have. Then from there is day 4, and it's pretty simple for day 4. We kind of just did a countdown and story engagement. So a thing about Instagram is they will push stories more and you'll get more views on your story if you have more engagement. So for example, if you're just posting links all the time, Instagram isn't going to push that out as much because it's like the links are taking people off of their app, right? And they want people to stay on their app. So a thing that we do a lot is, we will have people do DMCTAs or like polls, for example, to get engagement on the stories. That way, when we post the links and stuff like that, it will show it to more people, basically. So on day 4, what we did was a countdown and a story engagement. Basically, Inner Circle program mentorship drops tomorrow. Who's ready? We inserted a poll with 2 options, which were the same exact thing, like yes and like hell yeah, whatever. And then we inserted a countdown timer, which is just for tomorrow, letting people know, okay, this is really tomorrow. And then from there, day 5 is the actual public launch where we publicly launch it, even though we already kind of did it with the waitlist. But I had Lucas make a video basically saying, if you're a reseller trying to get into reselling, I'm launching my mentorship program where I guarantee you make an extra $5,000 to $10,000 a month in 90 days or less. He obviously elaborated, talking about some results that we've already had and stuff. And on this story, there was some text, which was a DMCTA just saying, DM me mentor to apply, basically. And then from there, we kind of just spammed student results, the current results we've already had in the program. People are doing like actually really good right now, which is amazing. And then after we spammed the student results, it's another close friend story, which is the same thing as last time. Just basically saying, yo, you guys are OGs, if you want to jump to the top of the wait list above everyone else who isn't on this story, click here, or sorry, not click here, but DM me mentor and I will get you up there. Boom. A ton more applications. At this point, I think we had about 700 applications, which honestly is like pretty good. And then from there, we do day 6. So obviously, once again, dialers are calling these people up, everything. I'm taking closing calls at this point. And then we do day 6, which is after the launch. So what a lot of people do is they'll launch and they'll kind of just stop after that. Now, what we did is we continued the launch on his story just to get those extra applications and everything. And, we ended up getting an extra 500 to 600 applications just from this one story as well. And so this is another public post launch, and it's going to create FOMO, and it's just going to get people to apply as well. So Lucas did another video just basically saying, yo, we have like over 700 applications already. Me and the team are trying to get back to each and every one of you. This will be the last time I post about this and have this application open. So get your spot now. That's the FOMO. People are like, damn, this is really closing down. I need to get my spot now.
and we got a ton of applications for it. And then on this story, we also said DM me mentor to secure your spot, basically. And I'll show you again what happens when they DM you mentor early in a second. But we did that, and then after that, it was kind of like we posted a story where it was, okay, I can't keep up with all these DMs, it's flooding my DMs. I'm just gonna leave this on my story. Here's the direct link to apply. And the reason we did it like this is because, like I told you before, we want to get engagement on the story first. That way it pushes it out more, and then we can post the direct link once we already have that engagement, if that makes any sense. So again, tons of applications through here, and then even more, just squeezing more out with the close friends. Same thing as the other ones, where it's just like same as yesterday. Since y'all are the OGs, you know, you can use this link to jump above everyone else in the waitlist. Boom, 1,300 applications, something like that. I think some of them might have been duplicates. Maybe it was more like 1,000 or so, 1,000, something like that. But just from this story sequence, we got a ton of applications. And then we also launched on Discord and Telegram as well. Way more simple, kind of just saying, yo, you guys can get early access to this waitlist, and then launching publicly, yo, it's open, you know, click here to apply. Nothing too special. I'm going to show you guys that. Very, very simple. But that's the story sequence side of things, you know, making the mentorship public and hyping it up, making people aware of it just through this story sequence and through the Discord and the Telegram launch. But like I said, where are these people going? You know, they're DMing Lucas early, they're DMing him mentor, they're clicking on the link. Where does this actually bring them? And how are we collecting these leads? So one thing that I noticed from the first launch is that the DMs were kind of cooked. Like trying to set people on appointments through the DMs was very cooked. The drop-off rates are bad. You know, it was just a ton of wasted time because these leads are kind of like bad quality. So I noticed that getting them on the phone was way better, and we actually booked way more appointments because of it. So what we did instead of setting in the DMs this time is we used ManyChat. And basically, if you don't know what ManyChat is, it's something that you can use. It's directly integrated with Instagram, where if somebody DMs you a keyword, basically, you can have an automation send them a message, for example. So we set this up for whenever people DM'd him early or DM'd him mentor. It would send them an automatic message, basically getting them to sign up for the mentorship. So when they DM'd him early, it said this, like, yo, I see you want to get in early, bro. Sign up down below, basically. They click on the link, and I'll show you the landing page. Same thing for direct clicks on the story. Sometimes we put the link on the story, for example, like I showed you in the story sequence. And then same thing for when they DM him mentor. It's just different wording, basically. And then when they click on this link, it brings them to a landing page. Now, this is the landing page. This is the funnel, which I'm about to go over. And I'm going to tell you why it converted well and why we got so many applications. Last time it was kind of cooked. What I had done is I had posted this landing page. It was a straight VSL, and then the button was book a call. And what I realized is that the drop-off rate was terrible. So for example, you can have 1,300 people click on this page and only have 10 people book a call because, you know, number one, calendar spots might get filled. Number two, it's just like not everyone is in a good position to book a call. You know, there's so many reasons people would drop off. So what I did this time instead, which actually got us so many more leads than last time, is I did an opt-in page first before the VSL. So basically, people click on this link and this is exactly what they see. You know, ICP call out offer. I will personally help you generate an extra $5,000 to $10,000 a month with reselling in 90 days or less. And you don't need any prior business experience or skills whatsoever. They click on this video to watch, or they click here. And what happens is this will pop up. It's just a form. It's a lead collector form. It's kind of like a squeeze page. So they'll fill out their information, their name, their email, their phone number. But yeah, this form is basically to get people to secure their spot. And it's just collecting these leads way easier than it would be as if they were to book a call, if that makes any sense. So they click secure their spot. And then from there, they're redirected to the VSL page, which leads into an application. So this is what they see. Step 2 out of 2, watch this video. You know, the full blueprint that took me from dead broke to $30,000 per month during the reselling gold rush, and how you can do the same. Watch until the end of this video, basically. Now from here, they are able to watch the VSL. We used VTurb on here, which is a software that basically you put your video inside of here, and it's going to up the watch time, like the conversion rate of your video, basically, because what it does is just this progress bar. It's a simple little thing, but it basically just makes it so that when people watch this video, it'll automatically play with the audio. And then this progress bar will move super, super fast in the beginning, even though it's like a 6-7 minute long video. And then it will start going slower and slower and slower and slower, just so that like it engages people more because it goes so fast and it's like so many people's dopamine receptors are cooked now, and it's like it makes them watch easier and it's just more of a smooth process and it makes it much longer just because of this progress bar. But yeah, so this VSL, also a student interview that we just filmed, and then some more inner circle wins. And then when people click on this apply for one-on-one coaching, bump your spot to the top of the waitlist, that's kind of the incentive. They click on this and it brings them to the application form. So we use Typeform. It's just a simple page, simple Typeform. Basically, just saying this application is only for current and aspiring resellers who have the funds to invest into their learning. People will start, and it just asks them a few basic questions to qualify them and then potentially book them on a call automatically. Like they book themselves on a call rather than us having to call them. And then we do a triage, which I'll get into later. But here's the question that we used. How long have you been reselling for? What are you looking to get out of my mentorship? And then I kind of just did a subheading of giving a detailed answer here will give you a higher chance of being accepted. And then the next question is just what's your current monthly income? And then the last question is what's your budget to invest into the program and your reselling business if you're able to hit your goals? Now, after people answer this question, they enter their information, but they don't get brought to the same page depending on their answer. If people answer under $500, it's going to just unqualify them and basically give them this message saying, thank you for your submission. I'll have a team member reach out soon to see if we can help. In the meantime, check your email. I sent you something. Now, I'll tell you guys what this email is in a little bit. But first of all, if they are qualified, they're going to be able to book a call. So if they answered 500 to 1,000 or more, they're able to book a call. And the reason for this is because we have a mid-ticket offer as well for $497. The high ticket is $2,000 right now. But I'll get into the whole process for this later. But for now, they filled their information, nothing crazy, just first name, last name, email, phone number, Instagram. This is going to be on a Google Meet, are going to show up, just simple stuff like that, because we already have their qualification questions up above in the Typeform. But boom, that's the funnel, pretty simple, pretty easy, pretty smooth. Opt-in to VSL, to application, to if qualified, book a call. Very, very simple. And it was actually very effective. We got tons of applications, tons of opt-ins, tons of booked calls. And in turn, it made us a decent amount of money, for his audience. But that is the landing page and the funnel that I used during this whole entire launch. Let's get into the systems and automations that I used throughout this launch as well. So when people opt in on this page, basically what happens is, I kept it pretty simple this time. I didn't want to overcomplicate things. It doesn't need to be overcomplicated. It's very simple. People opt in, they fill out their information, and automation and Go High Level is basically just going to add a tag to them saying, hey, this person opted in, and then it's going to add them to the opt-in stage in the pipeline. From there, it's going to wait 12 minutes because if somebody watches that VSL, it'll probably take them like 7 to 10 minutes, and then they can go ahead and apply on the Typeform, and we have a different automation for that. So it's going to wait 12 minutes before it sends this message out, just in case someone applies further. That way we'll send out a different one. But if they don't apply for the mentorship after opting in, it's just going to send them this message saying, hey, hey, first name, this is Chaz from Lucas Resells team. Just saw you were interested in our Inner Circle mentorship. Is that correct? Now, honestly, we're not really trying to respond to these messages too much. It's kind of just to up pickup rates because I split tested this and I realized that sending that first initial message, it gets people to reply more. It gets the pickup rate to up. I tried also just calling people straight up without sending a message, and the pickup rates weren't as high as they were when we sent that message first. So, this kind of just makes people aware that, this is the number. It's going to pop up as Chaz as well on the caller ID because we said this in the message, kind of a quick little tip. But yeah, sends this message and then people dial. We'll get into the dials later. But also, after people opt in, automatically what happens is I have a webhook set up with Go High Level and Zapier. And basically, it's going to add this person to ConvertKit with a tag, which is the mentorship opt-in tag, which will opt them into an email sequence, which is just the mini nurture email sequence, which it will just send them an email, here's a free gift, first name, basically saying, my team is going over all the applications and calling each and every one of you guys to see how we can help you start and or scale your reselling businesses. But why you wait, might as well just go watch this. And this is just kind of like to nurture them in the meantime before they get dialed. Also, a little student case study as well. But that is it for opt-ins, super, super simple. We'll get into the whole dialing sales process of this in a little bit. But for now, let's move on to applications. Similar thing, very, very similar. People apply, on the Typeform. They're going to get added the tag, of course, the applications, whether they're, qualified or not as well. And then it's going to add them to the stage, the mentorship application stage in the pipeline. And then it's going to wait 5 minutes to send this text message, because once again, it's going to give them 5 minutes to book a call after applying. And if they do book a call, it's going to take them out of here so they don't get sent this message, and they're going to get sent the message down here instead. But if they don't book a call within 5 minutes, which is usually, how long it takes people to do under that, that's why I have it at 5 minutes. But if they don't book a call, it's going to send them this message. Same thing as above, just a little bit differently worded. Hey, contact first name. This is Chaz from Lucas Resales team. Just saw you directly applied for Inner Circle mentorship. Is that correct? Same thing, just to up the pickup rates. Dollar's going to call them after this. And yeah, once again, super, super simple. Let's get into the booked calls, automations. So people book a call through the funnel if they are quote unquote qualified. Obviously, sometimes people answer $3,000 that they have, and then they end up having, $100 to their name. I don't know why people do it, but they do. And that's why we have triage calls in place, which I'll get into in the sales process. But if people go ahead and book a call themselves through the funnel, what happens is they get added to the stage, the booked calls need dialing in the funnel. And then also they're going to get sent a message right away after booking, just basically saying, hey, contact first name. This is Chaz from Lucas Resales team. Just saw you booked a call for your reselling game plan build out. Is that correct? As you can see, all these are very, very similar. You don't have to keep it. You don't have to make it too complicated. It's just super, super simple. Getting them organized, number one, in the pipeline. And then number two, just kind of sending out that initial message to help them understand who's calling them basically and up those pickup rates. So that's super, super simple. We already got through the first 3 parts. This is honestly very simple. Like, you guys don't need to overcomplicate this. It does get a little bit more tricky with the sales process side of things, but I'm going to help you guys out with that right now. So for our sales process, I'm going to give you guys a quick overview of the opt-ins, the applications, and the booked calls through the funnel real quick. Basically, people opt in, they apply. It's pretty much the same exact thing. What happens when they opt in, they apply. We go ahead and dial them, of course, call them 3 times. If they're qualified, we're going to book them on an appointment with the closer, obviously. If they're unqualified, we're going to send them free resources, of course, to nurture them and possibly upsell them in the future if they end up having the money. If they don't answer, we're going to recall again until they end up answering. And then we'll put them in either one of these 2 slots. The process for if people book calls through the funnel is we dial them, 3 times again. If they're qualified, instead of booking them on an appointment, we're just going to confirm their appointment because they already booked an appointment themselves, basically. So this is a triage call. They already booked an appointment. We need to call them in between the time that they booked and their appointment is to qualify them, basically, and confirm or cancel their appointment. So, like I said, dial 3 times. If they're qualified, confirm their appointment. If they're unqualified, we're going to go ahead and cancel their appointment to open up that time slot and make sure that person isn't hopping on a call with a closer when they have, $30 to their name. Because like I said, sometimes people say they have $3,000, then they're able to go book that call, but they might have $100 to their name. So that's why the triage call is very important. You still need to call people, even though they might say they have $3,000, they might not. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, if they're unqualified, we cancel their appointment, send them free resources like before. Now, if they don't answer, we need to be on top of these guys a lot. So we call them, multiple times within the same day if they don't answer, because we need to make sure we're calling these guys before their appointment, basically. So if they don't answer, we're going to recall before their appointment. But if they just don't answer anytime before their appointment, we're going to go ahead and cancel it and then just follow up with them, try and book them on a new call if they're qualified. If not, of course, send them free resources. So that's a quick overview of the whole process for opt-ins and applications, but we're going to get more in depth and show you actually what goes on the back end. So people opt in, people apply. We'll start with these 2 first and then get into the booked calls. But people opt in, people apply. We're going to go to the go high level opportunities, and we're going to go to the pipeline stages and everything. And we are going to click on these contact names. So for example, whoever this is, we're going to call an opt-in right now. We click on their name, we dial them 3 times, and there's certain things that can happen. So they either don't answer, they need follow-up, they're uninterested, they're unqualified. We're going to send them, downsell them to the Discord basically, or they're qualified and we book them on a call. If they don't answer, we're going to add tags. Didn't answer day 1. It's going to move them to the pipeline stage. Didn't answer day 1. We're going to recall them in that pipeline. Don't answer again. Same thing. Didn't answer day 2 and on. Basically, we want to call these guys a lot of times, a lot of days in a row. If it gets to a high amount, like 10, 15 days, it's like, okay, this is probably a trash lead, probably never going to answer, right? From there, if we call somebody and, they need a follow-up for whatever reason it is, maybe they can't call right now, but they can call in 2 hours, or maybe, they have $2 right now, but in a month from now, they'll have $3,000. So we'll follow up with them. What we do in this situation is we'll add a tag, mentorship follow-up, and we're also going to add a task. So number one, what this does, the mentorship follow-up tag, it'll automatically move them to a different stage in the pipeline just to organize them, which is the mentorship follow-up stage in the pipeline. And then the task side of things basically is just a reminder, like, okay, we're going to add a task for this person. A month from now, they'll have $3,000. It's just a reminder, basically. So we do that, and then we will follow up on that prospective date and time with the prospective reason, of course. Now, also, with the funnel that we ran this time, we do get a decent amount of uninterested leads. So we ran the opt-in funnel. So people will opt in kind of just to see what it is, look around a little bit, but they might not actually be interested. So sometimes we'll dial people and they're like, yo, like I was kind of just looking around, or like, maybe it's a funnel hacker. Whoever it is, sometimes there's people who are uninterested, and it's okay. It's fine. We'll just add the mentorship uninterested tag. It's going to move them to that different stage in the pipeline, and they're organized, right? It's all good, all set in stone. From there, you are going to get a lot of unqualified leads. I'm not sure with different niches. I know in this niche, there is tons and tons and tons and tons of unqualified people, people in debt, people with 30 cents to their name. It sucks for them, sucks for us. Hopefully they make some money one day, but we call these people, they're unqualified. All we do is simply just add the mentorship unqualified tag, and this is going to move them to that pipeline stage, the unqualified pipeline stage. And it's also going to automatically send them free resources. So it's going to send them our free Discord and then a free guide that Lucas has made, again, just to nurture these people, because when you help somebody out when they have no money at all, when they do have money, they're going to come to you to pay you to learn, because you help them out at their lowest, you help them out for free. They're going to want to know, what kind of information is out there if you're actually getting paid, if that makes any sense. Boom. So that's unqualified people. We also have the low ticket Discord, which is running currently, throughout this launch. So if people say, for example, they have like $100, $200, $300, we're going to go ahead and try and downsell them on this call to that monthly premium Discord, basically. So if someone says they have $100 to $300, $400, $500-ish in that range, we're going to try and sell them, yo, this is what we have inside the Discord. This is this is that. This is why we'll help you. Unfortunately, you don't have enough for the full mentorship, but this is very good for beginners, very good in your situation, whatnot. And we're going to send them that link, try and get them to join. And then from there, we're just going to add the Discord link sent tag. That way we can track it. This person is really unqualified. We just sent them the link instead. And finally, the best type of lead is the qualified type of lead. So say someone has $4,000, for example, boom. We're going to see if they're interested in the mentorship, of course, first. You don't want to just qualify off money. You also want to qualify off intent and like people actually wanting to do this, that is some leverage that the closer has, but you want to qualify these people. These people are awesome. And then you're going to book them on a call through the Setter's custom calendar, which is because I use Google UTM links, which basically just tracks where the calls are coming from, for example. But yeah, that's the process for opt-ins and applications. Pretty simple. Covers pretty much everything. Let's get into the booked calls through the funnel. So like I mentioned before, this is a triage call. Now, what is a triage call? It's basically, like I mentioned before, somebody books a call through a funnel and you need to call them in between the time that their appointment is and the time that they, booked the call, because this person was never called previously. So they're not actually qualified yet. So you need to qualify them in between this time basically, and then cancel or confirm their appointment depending on what they answer when you call them. So somebody books a call through the funnel, they get added to the pipeline stage. We check this, we call this person, click on their contact, dial them 3 times. Now there's kind of 3 things that can happen. Number 1 is they're qualified. Again, we love these people. Shout out to them, bro. They're qualified. They have some decent money. We're just going to go ahead and confirm their appointment, and then the reminder and nurture automations will automatically fire to these people, which I'll show you in just a second. But if people are unqualified, of course, we're going to cancel their appointment. We're going to add tag mentorship unqualified. And then the automations are going to fire, which again sends them free resources. If they don't answer, I kind of went over this already, but you need to recall them before their appointment. If they don't answer, recall them before their appointment again and again and again, just a few times. If they don't answer, sadly, you're going to have to cancel their appointment and then follow up with them after and try and book them on another call if they end up being qualified. So super, super simple stuff. Dials aren't anything too complicated. It's really just finding out. It's all inbound. So it's really easy. Just have a good time on these calls, be a good vibe. Be like, yo, what's up, man? Like, what's got you interested? Blah, blah, blah. What's your current situation? Where do you want to be? What are you struggling with? Kind of financially qualify. How much do you have set aside to invest? Stuff like that. Are you willing to invest? Really qualify them, because you guys don't want to waste the closer's energy, the closer's time. You want to qualify these people for the most part. Super, super simple. And then just book them on calls if they're not already booked, or confirm their appointment if they are qualified. Super simple stuff. From here, we need to focus on what happens after people book a call. Because, for example, if you book a call and say it's, 3 days in advance, if someone is not getting reminders or nurtured during that time, number one, they're probably not going to show up. And number two, it's going to be harder to close if they're not getting nurtured in between that time. So what we have set up is a post-booking automation. Very, very simple stuff. I'm going to show you guys what this is. Number one, people book a call, or not even book a call, but their appointment is actually confirmed. What's going to happen is they're going to get a confirmation email and SMS just saying, hey, this is your appointment. This is the time. This is who it's with, blah, blah, blah. Here's the pre-call checklist. Make sure you go over it before you hop on your call. From here, they're going to get the confirmed tag added to them for their confirmed call. They're going to move to the confirmed calls in the pipeline stage. And then they're also going to get all their information added to a Google Sheet, which is to track all of your closing calls, basically. So on here, we track closing rate, cash collected, revenue generated, the no-show rate, call recordings, contact info, if the payment is finished or not, if they're doing split payments or whatever. And then it's also going to track which dialer set them, so you know who to pay, and much more. It's very good to have a tracking sheet for this stuff. The automation is super, super simple. You just create trigger, appointment confirmed, and then Google Sheet, add it to the Google Sheet, all their information with like the custom fields, basically. Now, again, reminders, like I said, you can see 24 hours before, 12 hours, 6, 1. We are going to get into that. So 24 hours before, they get a reminder/nurture email and a reminder/nurture SMS. Basically just saying, yo, this is your appointment time, date, this is who it's with, and then also like watch this pre-call checklist video, blah, 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 like go to the pre-call checklist page. Same thing for 12 hours before, reminder, email, same stuff. This is when it is. Watch this before the video. You guys need to make sure you have good pre-call assets to warm up these leads, whether it's like educating them on guides on the business model itself. Also, student testimonials. Those things are very good to drop on people before they actually hop on a call with the closer, because it makes the closer's job easier. But yeah, that's 12 hours before the appointment. And then 6 hours before, these people are going to get a reminder SMS, which is also kind of an intent message. It says, respond with ready to confirm you're showing up. Most people respond with ready. If not, I'll show you what happens. But 1 hour before the appointment, they're going to get 3 things this time, not just 2. So a reminder email, a reminder SMS, and then also a call from the dialer. So of course, these are reminder and nurture, same as always. This is when it is. Watch this before the video or before the call. And then they're also going to get a call by the dialer who booked them on the appointment, basically. So this dialer is basically going to call them. If they don't answer, sucks. Sometimes it happens. We're going to wait 30 minutes before their appointment. This message is going to be sent. It's basically saying, yo, contact first name. It's an intent message. Yo, contact first name. Your call is in 30 minutes. Like this message to lock in your spot. If they don't like it, or if they do, the dialer is still going to call them because they didn't answer above. If they don't answer, we're going to cancel their appointment, because if they're not showing any intent an hour before or 30 minutes before the call, they're probably not going to show up to the actual call. So we don't want to waste our closer's time, have them get ready for this call, and then this person ends up not showing up. So we'll go ahead and just cancel this call, and we'll follow up with them. Yo, why didn't you show up? Why weren't you answering? Blah, blah, blah. Let's get you on a different call, for example. If they do answer, boom, we're gonna go ahead and make sure yo, are you still showing up? Blah, blah, blah. Did you watch the videos? Are you able to be at a quiet spot? We kind of say something similar to okay, yeah, the closer is going to get something ready for you real quick. It's going to take them 20 minutes. Are you 100% able to show up, just so he doesn't waste his time, kind of thing. It's helped with show rates, honestly, because people feel bad. But yeah, people answer, we get them all set, and then still we'll send them that 30-minute message just saying, yo, contact first name, your call's in 30 minutes, like this message to lock in your spot. Most of the people who answer the phone call will like this message. Then, of course, these people's appointments didn't get canceled. So 10 minutes before the appointment, they're going to get a reminder email and a reminder SMS. Again, just 10 minutes before, yo, it's in 10 minutes. And then when the call is live, they're going to get an email and an SMS. Sending them the link, yo, your appointment is live. Here's a link to join. We also send the link an hour and 10 minutes before, just so people have it and they're not asking us, yo, how do I join? We send it throughout those emails, those SMSs and everything. So yeah, nothing really too complicated. All this stuff is automated until you get down to the dialer part. But this dialer part is very important because it helps with just not wasting the closer's time with no shows and all that stuff. It's just very simple, 2-minute calls, making sure these people are showing up. They're locked in a quiet place, they can focus and all that good stuff. Now we are almost done with the whole entire process. From there, post call, what happens after you call these people? You know, you need to track these people with automations, with Google Sheets, all that stuff. It's very good to know your closing rate, your no-show rate, all that stuff so you can tweak stuff in the sales process. So for me, how I do this is probably different from other people. You know, everyone has their own way of doing this, but this is how I do it. Basically, when people's call goes live, it's going to have an automation that moves them to the post-call stage in the pipeline. After the call, you know, we're going to track them on the Google Sheet, of course. If they closed, if they didn't close, if they didn't show up, you know, how much cash collected, how much revenue collected, all that good stuff. But like I was talking about up here, once this person is automatically moved to the post-call stage in the Go High Level pipeline, I have some automations that I'm about to show you. So for example, this one, when people move to post-call stage in the Go High Level pipeline, Zapier is going to notice that, that's the trigger, and it's going to send a message to Discord, which is a post-call form. This is the appointment status after this person's call. It's way easier to track this way, and it adds all the information you need, and I'm about to show you how to set it up. So this is kind of sick. What you do is you set up a form, and then you're going to add !email equals, and then contact email, or like the Zapier email thing, whatever. So when you click on this form, it's going to automatically notice which the contact this is, and then you can fill out this information, and I'll show you why this is useful. So after every appointment, I get off the call, I fill out this information. So if this person paid in full, if they closed, if they deposited, no close, no show, if they joined a program, which one, how much cash collected, revenue generated, my creators pay, the operators pay, closers pay, setters pay, and then any notes for the appointment. So how do you set up this form? Number one, you want to add this information on here or anything else you want, like call recording, for example. And then you want to add an email spot on the top of the form, but you want to hide it. And that's very important. Hide it, click on this button right here. And then you need to make sure the query key is email. That way, when you add it to the link, it says email equals, you know, contact email, or just like the email in Zapier. But that's the message I have send basically when this pipeline stage is changed to post call, so that every time a call is, you know, over, it's going to send this message. I can go ahead and fill out this form. And then once this form is filled out, I have a Go High Level automation Fire, which is not too complicated. I'm about to show you. Honestly, very, very helpful. It's just all automated on tracking people. So for example, this form is submitted. That's the trigger, right? What's going to happen is it's going to add the note. So this feedback for appointment, it's going to add to this person's notes. And then depending on what you answered, if they piffed, if they closed, no show, deposit, it's going to fire these automations. If they paid in full, you know, it's just going to create or update their opportunity to piff, remove all tags, add tag piff, and then it's just going to keep them here, right? Closed, same exact thing. Boom. No close. This is a little different. It's going to add them to the no close pipeline stage and everything, but we also have some extra stuff. So it's going to wait 24 hours. And we're going to have some manual actions to call and text these people, because sometimes people don't close, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to close after the call. Maybe they needed to go grab money from the bank. You know, it happens a lot with these kids where they need to get money from the bank. You know, they have money in cash. They need to get it into an account. So it's going to remind us we need to follow up with these people. Just because they didn't close doesn't mean that they're actually not going to pay in the future. But yeah, as you can see, you know, just a ton of manual calls, manual SMSs, just to remind us, you know, we have to take these actions in order to potentially close this person after their call is over. Same thing with no show. These people didn't show. They had high intent. They're qualified. Their appointments got confirmed, obviously. There's money in this. You don't just want to leave these people after they no show and like never follow up with them again. So it's going to bring them through here. Manual call, manual SMS. It's going to wait 22 hours. You know, you really want to stay on top of this. Call these people every single day. Text them every single day. Try and get them on another appointment, another calendar booked call if possible. Then one more thing. So we have deposit. These people are like saving their spot, for example. We also want to follow up with these people. Sometimes people deposit and they never come back, but you really want to try and get them to come back and try and finish off that payment and actually get them into the program after saving their spot. So once again, wait, call, text, wait, call, text, wait, call, text, follow up with these people. It's a very good way to organize it inside of here. Then once this form is filled out, as soon as you click submit, this is going to fire, do all this good stuff. And then it's also going to notice this. So pipeline stage changed, whatever it is, it's going to send a message to my Discord channel, which is where we organize everything. So for example, if I did closed, right, it's going to send this message. So first name, last name, just joined the program they joined, how much cash collected, blah, 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 how much revenue generated, Lucas pay, operator pay, closer pay, setter pay, feedback for appointment. So when you set up this form up here, you want to make sure that these are all custom fields, or yeah, I think they're custom fields. So like what program did they join? Make sure it's a custom field. That way, when you're in Zapier setting this up, or go high level if you're using Slack, you can then like map these out. So first name, last name, the custom field will be Lucas pay. So whenever you enter like Lucas pay, for example, it's going to be 35. When it sends the message to Discord, it's going to like use that custom field, if that makes any sense. So for example, this is a closed message. Say on this form, I said this person closed. It's then going to run them through here, close. It's going to create their opportunity into the closed pipeline, right? Now, this is the trigger. Pipeline stage changed to closed. It's going to send this message to Discord, right, with what I answered on the form. It's going to say like, yo, this name just joined Inner Circle, cash collected, blah, 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 revenue, blah, operator pay, creator pay, closer pay, setter pay, and then any notes. And yeah, it just is a cool little thing to have inside of your Discord. It keeps people incentivized. It's kind of like a little dopamine hit. You're like, yo, this guy just closed, like W's in the chat. It makes people happy. It's a good supporting system to have. Just automated, pretty simple to set up. I like to do it this way, but yeah, that's for the post call. And I mean, yeah, that's really it. That's everything. So, hype, awareness, let people know that you're actually doing this. From there, you have to have a good landing page and a good funnel setup to actually collect these leads and then potentially turn them into buyers with your systems and automations and your sales process. Pretty simple, nothing too complicated. We did $27,000 revenue, $16,000 cash collected, with 6.5K of that being monthly recurring revenue in 3 days. And honestly, this niche is not the best. It's very broke. It's a lot of younger kids. People are amazing, of course, but they're just young. They don't have too much money. So you take these processes, these systems, all this stuff to a richer niche, a richer audience, you are going to be printing. And that's what I'm working towards now. I'm looking to get a new creator as soon as possible in a more rich niche, and I'm going to be doing 10 times better because these systems will print with a different area. But yeah, I mean, I hope you learned something new from watching this video, taking notes. Hopefully tons and tons of sauce in here. Very simple as well. If you're a coach creator, you can implement this into your own systems. If you're a growth operator, use this for your clients. But yeah, I mean, if you are a coach or a consultant and you're looking for someone to run your backend systems, create you all this stuff, that way you don't have to focus on anything other than bringing in the people with content and actually doing the coaching program yourself, then hit me up on Instagram, link down below. I'm there. I'm here to help you guys out. But yeah, other than that, hope you guys like this video. Drop a like, drop a comment, what you guys found the most valuable. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to log back in and try and get some crazier case studies, some crazier results, and share everything I've learned with you guys. But until then, peace out.